Hey, and welcome back to Road to Gehenna. We are rapidly approaching the end. Last time we saved Mr. Mulciber, and I didn't actually get to read like the whole messages. We are going to do that today, like to start off with, and then afterwards we still have like one or two puzzles to do. Actually, there aren't actually that many more puzzles, which is like it's a one hand exciting that we're making such progress, but obviously scary me in the sense that like this amazing game is going to end, right? Filled with like so many amazing pieces of art, like within the piece of art. I know it's amazing. All I can say. Welcome back. Show some threats. Ooh, Ascension objective review. We do have some. I'm assuming ASCII. Could we translate that? No, we can't. It's kind of. I mean, it could be not 4 characters, but 3 characters. I don't think that they are really that reasonable. Also, there's like a gap in there, so I don't know. We're going to check that one out later. Message to the future, the outer world. Didn't we read the outer world before? I think this is like a thread we started before, so I'm gonna continue with that one. Wait a second. So let's say this is really happening. We are really getting out of this world. I won't believe it until I see it. Let's say some part of us survives the trip. Where are we going? Okay, this is something we read. I'm just gonna repeat it because it's been in our recording session. I think there's a lot to suggest that all the texts Mr. Mulciber has been reading are actually part of an elaborate hoax. To what purpose? I don't know. But there are just too many inconsistencies and contradictions for it to be true. Someone's trying to confuse us. I think we talked about like the human experience, how it's like contradictory in itself, right? Like how it's quite likely to have like contradicting texts. And obviously we do know about like the outside world. Like we have like the, I guess the power of hindsight, and also like to be fair, like we understand like the real world as a player, but also we have like the power of hindsight because we've seen that there is an outside world at the end of the base game. Anyway, outside world is within us. Maybe, kind of, right? Like the understanding at least. Yeah, that's helpful, Belial. Rockwell, I don't know. I don't think contradictions mean that outside world isn't real. I can see plenty of contradictions right here. Okay, yeah, we did reach that point. As long as we get out of here, I don't really care. Okay, this is actually where we ended last time. Oh yeah, I just noticed that like even inside of the threads there's like a star where it continues. I don't know, I never paid attention to that, I guess. Like I generally just see it like in the threads overview in general. I don't know. Mr. Mulciber, I think we will find the world that our ancestors left behind for us. Though it's impossible to ascertain how much time has passed since then. But though I have little faith in Elohim, I do have faith in Alexandra Drennan. Wherever we end up, there will be hope. Yeah, like I had like my theory about like how much time has passed, right? Like I think it's still somewhere in the ballpark of closer to hundreds of years more than thousands, right? Like because like a lot of the structures were like still standing even though they were overgrown, and we kind of talked about how I guess the life cycle of buildings isn't actually that long. At least like the bigger buildings that we build these days, right? Like there's a rough estimate of how long they will last without like repairs, right? Like and while I generally assume that this lifespan that is kind of given to us, right? I think it's like a few decades generally for like a building, is a low ball for safety reasons, right? I still think that it would be weird if this set ran for like, let's say 2,000 years or so. I think that would be too long of time span. I would say like maybe 200 to 700 years. I don't know. But then again, there were like a lot of trees, and trees tend to take sometimes. So maybe let's say 500 for now. This is like my estimate. I am probably going to get like a confirmation in the second game, if there's ever going to be one. Anyway. Okay. Ascension, an objective review. Lamb. I wanted to clear the air and get a few facts in front of you guys. Here's what I guess we know. A significant number of people have expressed the desire to remain in Gehenna. No one has been given a choice about whether to leave. It follows that in at least some cases, what Uriel is doing is kidnapping. Uriel is working for Elohim, the guy who imprisoned us here in the first place. There's no way to confirm the substance of this promised ascension. The world has survived this long. There's no reason to think it will end tomorrow. Gehenna isn't a bad place to spend your life. That's just the facts, and I understand different people will react to them differently. Okay, here are a few things that I think are interesting. So there were I wouldn't say a significant number of people, because wait, Lamb was the bot, right? It was like explicitly or like I say the bot. I don't even know like how exactly they formulated it, but this was like someone who sold out. I think it was like an automated thing, or like maybe just like one of the mods pretending to be someone else. I don't actually know like how the logistics work of this situation. But I would say like what's wrong in here? Significant number. There were some people. No one has been given a choice about whether to leave. I think that's still interesting, because the only one who really complained about that situation was Orc, I think, since they originally were against it. Like, there was like part of me, I'm gonna say like that, thought maybe they were just scared, and now they felt like compelled, right? That they were free, they felt like compelled to go there, and they just didn't understand it or didn't want to admit it. This is like part of what I am guessing, but maybe there's also just something that they are like actually being forced there, but like no one else has complained so far, which is, in my opinion, interesting. Yeah. Yuri is doing kidnapping. Yeah, assuming that this is the case, that we actually compelled him, this is a form of kidnapping. I would actually agree with that. There's no way to confirm the substance of this promised ascension. I also 100% agree. We don't know what's going to happen. Right? Like, we are not even the original Yuri, we are a copy. The world has survived this long. There's no reason to think it will end tomorrow. You know, here's the thing. Just because something has been that way for a long time does not mean that there isn't going to be change. And especially with like some sort of like structures, right? Like, we're talking about like structures here, but like this is like a digital structure but still exists, right? Like generally the thing is that like the moment the cracks start to form, or like you can see them, it's probably too late unless you can actually fix them. Right? It's like a bridge does not work in a 90% repaired state. Right? It does not work. Like, it has to be like close to 100%. Yeah, there can be like some chip damage, but like you would probably not drive over a bridge that you got like confirmation that it works like 80% of the time. Right? Like, at that point it is broken, even though it's like mostly still intact. Like, even if the deletion didn't happen, right? Like, imagine like just parts got deleted every once in a while. I mean, we already have seen that like parts of the world broke besides the deletion process. So, you know, so there's definitely a precedent like that we could see, even besides like the deletion again. I just had like a weird thought about this, because since we are always talking about like what exactly is a person, like in the base game especially, like we do not Elohim as like a personality. Whether we say that he is a person, that's probably like up to debate. I would like, to my like from my perspective, he seems as much a person as like most people in here, right? Like maybe a like, I guess an iteration, like an earlier iteration, as opposed to like some of the other ones that are like creating art and stuff here. But we do know that Elohim seems to have like some sort of control and some way of reacting to stuff. We could obviously argue, you know, that this isn't a person, but I think like the way the entire game has been presented, I think it is reasonable to assume that this is kind of the intent there. That there's like at least a question, right? Like, and I would at this position say, okay, Elohim is a person. And Elohim, to my understanding, has to go down with the ship, because like Elohim is not going to be uploaded, which sucks for him, at least to my understanding. But what about like, since we're always talking about like people and stuff, it's like not Gehenna itself, but like the entire extended lifespan system also a person. Like, we do know that like child programs are going to be uploaded, but like the thing itself, even though it cannot communicate to us, right? Like, it's still going to be deleted, and it's going to be ended, and like, again, I don't know why I hadn't like explicitly thought about that one, right? Like, I have thought about Elohim, but not about like the system here, just because we have seen that there are also like child processes in here who you basically could not communicate, right? Like, even if you think about like Spider technically could communicate, but it hasn't been given an outlet until like we saved them. Basically, and before them, just because they were banned. Imagine creating a person without a mouth, basically. Right? Like, this is like how I'm currently thinking about it. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that for now. And okay, Lamb, if everyone's getting released, how come I don't see you out here? It's true. Why isn't Lamb there? Okay, let's check out the broken one last, just because it takes like a little bit of time to translate it, assuming that I have to like put an ASCII again, and it's just kind of annoying. Because you can't copy paste, right? Like I have to actually write down every single digit, and it's taking some time. Anyway, a message to the future. Mr. Mulciber. This message is for whatever entities will come to be after this world is gone. It might not be necessary, you might know everything that exists in my mind, but sometimes saying things, writing them down clearly makes a difference. I know that you, with access to information I can only dream of, my theories must appear ridiculous. Oh, to you, yeah, to you they must appear ridiculous. I barely understand anything of the world I inhabit, let alone the world of our ancestors. I'm an idiot digging through a garbage heap and thinking myself wise. I want you to know that I understand that, but try it anyway. Because I believe that the truth matters, and trying to discover the truth matters. Even if we fail. Even if we can never know the whole truth. It matters that an objective truth exists and that we struggle to understand it. That process shapes the present as much as it does our understanding of the past. That's why I believe, that's what I stand for. That's who I was. The thread's locked. And I have to say, I really appreciate like Mr. Mulciber as a character, right? Like we see like a lot about like Mr. Mulciber just because of all the theories, the art, and like since they are like an admin, we see like their work constantly, right? There are like a few of the characters that you see, like a lot of other ones they just make like comments comparatively. I really appreciate like a character like him, like, and obviously I see part of that in myself, like the idea that there is an objective truth. There are some people who may not believe that, but I do think that there is an objective truth, and I think striving to understand it or striving to reach it, even if it's something impossible, has value. And even if we see nothing, right, like it matters in the long run. Like I always say it, right, like the idea that we stand on the shoulder of giants. There are people who basically were in the same place where they didn't have anything and they had to come up with something. And only because of these discoveries we have reached a point. Yeah, a lot of it is wrong and some of it is harmful, but I'd say overall, right, like we talked about like how medicine is like, you know, there are things still in there that have been, I don't actually know if they're like still actively being taught. I would assume in some areas they probably are, and there are probably some things that we hadn't even thought about, right? Like with me, I would say like the doctors who are like in charge of like the curriculum that are I'm gonna call it like racist and sexist in a sense, that they are, especially like women have I say like women and also like people who are not white, that's like the text, which is what I'm saying, like racist and sexist, tend to be neglected in those cases, right? We talked about like how, did we talk about like the study that was done like on like, for example, how women who are basically unconscious have a way lower survival rate than men, because men tend to be less comfortable doing CPR on women. And it was actually shown that if you use like a mannequin, like the training mannequin of a like, you know, female appearing body basically, that these like the chance that they would actually perform CPR like vastly improves. And it's like just a minor thing. Like when I went to driver school and I had to do like the medical stuff, or like when I was like a firefighter, like a junior firefighter, like I always had like these male mannequins, I'm gonna call them, right, to practice on. And like I had never thought about that, but that's like just a thing that exists. And again, there are like a lot of racist belief that like the scientists back of the day had. But like overall, like all of these steps that we have taken, I think like the place we are now at medicine, even though there are a lot of flaws in there, still are a lot better than we had like 1,000 years ago, before like these racist beliefs were like introduced to medicine in a sense, or like it's probably like even more than 1,000 years, right? Like I think that probably happened like a lot earlier that started. But like the idea that we are still making progress, even though like sometimes we make missteps, I think these missteps are still worth it. Especially because like with our growing understanding, we are capable of fixing those mistakes. It just takes some time, and it sucks that it exists, but it's better than no progress existing, right? So yeah, Anyway, still very much appreciate Mr. Multiple. I also really appreciate like reading about like all of that stuff. There are like things in there that I didn't even know. Like example Atlantis, right? Like I'm not expert. I'm an expert on like history and myths. Like while he got some things wrong, there are probably things that were right about like the myths at least that I still didn't know about. And so I really appreciate like at least the research being done. Anyway, let's go back and check out the broken one. Well, that sounds fun. I'm gonna check out like the ASCII in here in a second, right? Okay, I think that's like a lot of ASCII. Let me translate it first, and then we're going to read through it together. Okay, I translated some things. First of all, it starts with end, so it's maybe the end of a story. But let's first read like the text, and then let's go over the ASCII. The sole property of matter, with whose recognition philosophical something materialism, the property of being an objective reality, existing outside the mind, alien tears will fill for him, pity long broken something earn, for his mourners will be outcast men, cannot load file. Okay, it does say awake, awake, O sleeper of the land of shadows, wake. If you connect like all of the ASCII together, because it's like similar to before. Like if you just try to do it like bit by bit, it's going to break. Just because of like how ASCII work. It doesn't actually matter. I'm assuming that it's like the end of like a story mixed in with like something else, because they're talking about like the property matter of the philosophical materialism. I mean, I'm guessing it's about like the idea, since, you know, just guessing because of what it says like in the text, like the idea that there's like an objective reality, right, that we had it before in like the other texts, is I guess part of that, right? Like there are people who don't believe in that. There might be no reality. I'm actually, like, don't get me wrong, like I do believe that there's an objective reality. I do believe that it is kind of hard to reach that. Just because like how do you confirm stuff without like knowing like basically everything about it, which is kind of hard, right? Anyway, we still have like a few minutes. Probably you have to cut out like 5 to like for the translation. It always takes like a little bit of time to like arrange everything and like make sure that I actually get like every single digit. And what is still missing? I think we at least have like one puzzle. Yeah, one puzzle and one star, and it's probably the one over here. Yeah, like we only use like this point to like break out of the level. Otherwise we haven't been here. It's also interesting that we are only missing one star. Like if I just find it there, then I guess I'm only missing like the 2 stars that I missed like in the previous areas, which also neat. Anyway, cube stuff. We can figure that one out. Another castle. Let's look around just in case there's like another game hidden. Like I wouldn't be surprised actually if there was like another file somewhere that I just missed. Because they seem to be like semi-secret, like Jerusalem wasn't, right? It was like kind of just hanging on the side, but at least like in your pathway. Can I go around here? I can. I don't know if I should. Okay, I can. That definitely was an adventure. That was definitely worth it. Okay, I'm just gonna jump over here, it's fine. Big old castle. Weirdly enough, now I just remembered which of the stars I'm still missing, which is like still in the like ruined. It's not really a castle, right? Like in the first area. Still though, it just flashed inside of my mind for some reason. I just realized that this is not going to be fun because I have like no idea how to solve that one. But I guess the next episode is probably going to be about that. Anyway, whose hands built the city? Tempted that. Oh yes, that's so me. I would also write that. I mean, city inside of walls. Also, we do have more water here. It's neat. I mentioned this before, like, even though I hate the idea of, like, being so high up, just because I have, like, an extreme fear of heights, that makes it really, really hard to even go to, like, high up floors and, like, look outside of the window. I do think it's, like, really beautiful. Like, put this one, like, slightly lower down, or at least, like, on top of a mountain, and, like, don't have, like, cliffs like these, and I would absolutely gladly live there. But hey, that's just, like, the waterfalls, right? Like, they definitely improve everything. Yeah. I read something about that recently, how it's, like, really fascinating that humans just, like, enjoy I guess, seeing movement in a way. Because like sometimes you see that in animals how they're like fascinated by like I'm saying like jingling keys. It's not quite jingling keys, but like also like movement like that. And it's interesting that we also have that, right? Like people generally like seeing like waterfalls or like, you know, lava lamps and stuff, right? Just because there's like a little bit of movement makes it a lot more interesting to look at. Anyway, we go. Yet each man kills the thing he loves. By each let this be heard. Oh, by each let this be heard. Some do it with a bitter look, some with a flattering word. The coward that does it with a kiss, the brave man with a sword. Don't know if I would agree with that, like, as a statement without context, I guess. Like, thinking about it. Does everyone, like, end the things that they love? Like, we have to experience the end of what we love at some point. But I don't know if it's, like, I guess, by your own hand? Like, metaphorically speaking? All the time? I don't know. Well then, I guess it's time to check out this little city. Goliath. Okay, we do have some balls. We do have some connectors, okay. Good to know, good to know. We do have a cube. We do... Okay, this weirdly enough feels like a penultimate kinda puzzle, just because there are like so many components to it, I guess. Okay, we have to destroy doors at some point, so we either need multiple jammers. What else do we need? You're going through there. So we are just not allowed to go over there, but we can technically block that guy. Oh, I have an idea already. Okay, here's the thing. We do have the cube over there, like another one. If we connect it, like through here, basically a laser if we need it later on, then we can probably just put a cube on there, because like it's going through that archway. Okay, it was a bit of a cross. Like through the archway, I'm guessing the cube can't actually pass through there, and it's going to be dropping later on. And it's going to block the pathway back, because they're always going like in this L shape, right? If I see this right, I think. Yeah, that could absolutely work. Okay. First step, we are going to need that at some point. I don't know if I want to start with that though. I first need to figure out like where I even need that. We can climb over here, but like not the other way around. Okay, I guess this part in general is like a later one. Can we even go to this piece? I mean, we do have the cube. We do need a blue laser here. We do have a red one here. And I did see that we have 2 fans, so maybe we can hold those later on. You want to shoot through there to open something. Not sure what exactly though. Have I even gotten a component? Oh, also? That's last star. Okay, I at least know where it is. That means I still don't know the location of like one of the stars. Oh, look at you. Who are you? We are still missing Borg. Like we've saved Orc. Mr. Mulciber, Borg is still missing. And I think you are the last one outside of admin that we can save, to my understanding. So yeah, we are actually getting really, really close to the end. When it comes to like saving the people of Gehenna. I'm just kind of lost, like where the first step exactly begins. Because like obviously we can open this gate later on. That's not an issue. I just don't... Like, I mean, I can block you, but like, why would I block you right now? I don't have like any components to continue afterwards. I have this block. Was there like a button I could press somewhere? I mean, you can look over walls, but... Oh, wait. I can look over walls. Okay, that's good to know. I am going to open you for now. The question is, do I want the gem? I probably want the gem. I don't really need... let's connect to you, because you seem to be like the thing I want to connect to. And I'm gonna wait until you're gone, yeah. Like that. Let's start off with that. I just want to see what you connect to. Over here, it's probably taking some time. And then I get 2 of the fans. Okay, I am slowly like understanding what I have to do. We can put you here. Bring you with me. That shouldn't be like too hard of an issue. I do have the cube now. just in case I need it later on. We can jam you in the right position. Oh wait, I actually need 2 cubes, because I can't actually reach the top of you without like standing on top of something. Okay, that's why we need the second one. Okay, I can't reach you in time. I'm just gonna bring the jammer just in case, making this a little bit easier on me. Okay, I can also like just jam you if I wanted to, but I feel like I need the jammer later on. But I just want to see what this does. It's a little bit quicker, right? Like we can move stuff around later on anyway. Okay, now we need the jammer to reach those, so I definitely have to start off with that already. I thought maybe this is like part of the second puzzle. That would be kind of funny if I had already figured that one out, but apparently not. Okay. Now, I'm still gonna jam you, like, once you reach this end. Just so I have, like, a little bit more time to, like, focus. Put you there, like... Oh, wait, I don't actually need the second one. Okay, that should be enough. I don't know what I need the cube for yet, but we are going to figure that one out. I can go through here if I wanted to, but that doesn't actually help me. Let's just wait for now. Let's just get the fans. My theory was correct, by the way, right? Like, who would have thought? I really like it when, you know, again, they're building stuff like that into it. Right, like seeing new mechanics that you actually have seen before, in a way. Okay, the issue that I'm currently seeing here is, like, once you float upwards, you're going to block the lasers. So I don't actually know if this is, like, the perfect position to do that, but hey, we have to start somewhere. Can I... Like, the issue I'm currently seeing is, like, yeah, I get the laser through here. I do have a cube. But then what? Like, I can't go through here. I can't go through... Oh, wait, I can go through here, though. You're going to activate something? What are you activating? Ah, this one. Okay, this makes it easier, I guess. I do have you guys now, but the issue is that... Oh, that's actually not an issue. I can just connect to you, pick you up, connect to you, put you there. And this should give me another jammer. The second jammer is going to allow me to... wait, I'm jamming this one over there, right? Yeah. I would like to get everything out of there, so I'm gonna do this. I don't need you anymore. I can go through here, though. Okay, now I have, like, all of these here. What am I doing with you? I'm gonna just bring them outside for now. I don't really see a reason to keep you inside, and I can always bring you now that I have 2 jammers. Okay. For now, let's connect to you somewhere. I feel like I need a cube. Where did I leave the cubes? I am sometimes very forgetful. I know I have like one over there. Okay, that's the second one. Because like my idea currently is like I can't bring the blue laser over here, but I can do it just because of like the angle. If I put you there, then you should be able to also like avoid the other ones, right? Like even if you now get pushed up, you're not going to block it. Which means that this is now open. I do have some jammers that I can use because like both of them are currently not in use. So I can jam you. And I can jam you. But then what? I also need like the blue one over there. That's not the biggest issue though. I feel like I can do that. Shouldn't be in the way. Now that you are open, I can go through everything. And you're just going to open this one. I need like a bunch of those though. How am I going to do that? Like I do need both of those connectors over there, right? I kind of need one jammer here. Can I somehow do that? Because like you are currently required for pieces of it. And you probably are too, right? Oh wait. Okay, I didn't actually need both of those, so I can jam you here. Bring you with me. Okay, it's actually not that hard. Jam you. Oh wait, you're not quite in the right position. jam you like that, and you are going to open something on the other side. And that's it? Okay. I guess this was a cool puzzle. I just was confusing myself. Okay, let's free you. We can read in the next episode. And you're Borg. Just as expected. You did leave a message just as I was coming here, I guess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your stay in Gehenna. You know, you can always, I guess, be part of the thought process in creating Gehenna 2. Right? Right. That sounds great. You're just staring at me? Goodbye. Fair enough. I hope you enjoy. Okay, I feel like I'm at the end of the episode currently, but I kind of want to see if I can quickly ascertain what I have to do to reach that piece. There might be something outside, because I don't think I can block enough of the guns to even go this direction. But it does look like parts of the outside are technically walkable? Haven't actually tried the... Oh wait, I can't go through here currently. I haven't actually tried the ladder. I don't know if I'm gonna jump over. I will probably jump over instead of just standing next to it. I could do some platforming over here, in theory, but I don't think that this is quite enough. Ooh. I guess I'm gonna have to think about that in the next episode. For now, I'm just gonna end it here and I'm gonna read the next episode. And then we're probably going to focus on getting the last few stars. And then I'm gonna, you know, finish the game. Whatever that means. I'm actually not sure if this is quite doable at this point. Like, I don't know how it's going to be, like, timing-wise. Because we have seen that the world was really falling apart. I don't know how much time we have left. Once we collect everything and return to the main platform. Because, like, we have to pass there anyway to reach the other regions. But yeah, this is like, I guess, a problem for future me. Worst case, I'm gonna load a backup because the game makes backups, which is something I really like. In any case, though, I hope you enjoyed the episode and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be seeing you next time. Till then, have a good one and bye-bye.